Listen, you are walking straight into a financial nightmare right now, and you probably don't even realize it. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a psychological trap that is quietly draining your bank account. I mean, it's fast, it's totally invisible, and it is destroying fortunes literally every single day. Let's start with a scenario we all know a little too well. Okay, you walk into the Apple store. Your old phone is fine, but maybe the battery's draining fast, the screen has a tiny crack. You convince yourself you need the upgrade. It's for work, right? It's a productivity tool. So you hit the register and you drop a cool $1,200 on the new iPhone Pro Max Titanium. You walk out feeling incredibly successful, but then something highly dangerous happens. You get in your car, you look at this sleek, futuristic masterpiece of engineering, and suddenly, your old, frayed charging cable looks like absolute garbage next to it. It just feels wrong to plug it in. So, boom, you buy the magnetic charger for $40. You get home, put it on your nightstand, and realize your cheap plastic case looks ridiculous on titanium. You need the leather case. That's another $60. Oh, wait, your old wired headphones? Totally incompatible. You're gonna need the AirPods Pro to get the full experience. $250. Within just 48 hours, that $1,200 purchase quietly transformed into a $1,600 demand. Okay, let's dive into this. Chapter 1, The Upgrade Trap. If this sounds familiar, understand this right now. You aren't just bad with money. What you just experienced is a deeply ingrained human behavior. It's a psychological chain reaction that honestly ruins more wealth than stock market crashes. It is the exact phenomenon that explains why lottery winners go straight to bankruptcy and why buying your absolute dream house can suddenly morph into a complete financial nightmare. Which brings us to part 2, the story of the scarlet robe. To figure out why we just can't stop spending, we actually have to travel way back to 1765 to meet a guy named Diderot. He was a broke but perfectly content philosopher until the Empress of Russia gave him a massive financial windfall. And what did he do with the cash? Well, he treated himself. On day 1, he bought a beautiful, ridiculously expensive scarlet dressing gown, just a luxury robe fit for a king. But by week 1, as he sat at his desk, he noticed it was scratched and kind of rotting. The elegant robe made the desk look cheap, so he replaced it. By month 1, he looked at his stunning new mahogany desk and realized his old, threadbare rug was practically an insult to the room. Then the new rug made the curtains look cheap. The curtains made the chairs look like firewood. He systematically replaced literally every single object he owned. And by month 6, Diderot was completely bankrupt again. He later wrote an essay about this exact downward spiral, and it features this haunting line. He said, "I was the absolute master of my old dressing gown, but I have become a slave to my new one." And this brilliantly illustrates the core danger of this phenomenon, which is appropriately named the Diderot effect. See, the introduction of a new possession creates this massive spiral of consumption. We think we own our things, but in reality, our things end up owning us. Let's fast forward back to today. Section 3, Buying a New Identity. Now, you might think an 18th century French philosopher has nothing in common with you, but modern marketing actually weaponizes this exact flaw with terrifying precision. Take the whole fitness spiral, right? You decide to get in shape, you buy a $1,500 Peloton bike. But when it arrives, riding it in your baggy Hey School gym shorts just feels wrong. You don't match the instructors on the screen. So you buy the $150 specialized shoes, the $80 compression shorts, the $50 branded tank top, and eventually you're building a whole Zen workout space in your basement. You are no longer just buying a bike, you're buying an entire identity. As humans, we crave identity consistency. We desperately want our external world to perfectly match our internal self-image. Think about it like this. If you view yourself as a Honda Civic person, you're probably perfectly comfortable wearing jeans, eating fast food, and chilling on IKEA furniture. But if you stretch your budget and buy a Porsche, you have fundamentally shifted your identity. You are now a Porsche person. And Porsche people, they don't have cheap IKEA furniture or eat off paper plates. That luxury car acts as your anchor item. It sets a brand new, highly expensive baseline for your entire life. Everything below that baseline starts to create this intense psychological tension. It feels wrong, so you start upgrading your wardrobe, your luggage, your vacations, just to maintain coherence in your own story. This is exactly why the advice to fake it till you make it is financially toxic. If you buy a Rolex before you can really afford it, that anchor item will force you to upgrade everything else to maintain the illusion, and it will absolutely bankrupt you. So, let's look at the math here. Section 4, the chain reaction cost. Most people calculate costs in total isolation, which is completely wrong. you have to calculate the chain reaction cost. And there's no better example of this than a classic home renovation. Say you budget $10,000 for some nice, modern white kitchen cabinets. That's your anchor. But once they're installed, your perfectly fine, 10-year-old yellowish fridge suddenly looks absolutely disgusting. It works great, but visually it clashes. So you drop $2,000 on a stainless fridge. Then you look down. Your vinyl floor looks incredibly cheap next to the new fridge. You spend $5,000 ripping up the floors. That's $7,000 just in demands. Now the kitchen looks like a magazine cover, but wait, it's an open concept house. So now your living room looks like a dump. The old brown sofa is just sad, the renovation leaks, you paint the downstairs, buy a new sectional, and suddenly you spent another $18,000. The final cost of those $10,000 cabinets? $35,000. That is the trap. Which brings us to a really terrifying realization. Upgrades are often just downgrades in disguise. Think about it. When you buy a brand new, super expensive white couch, what actually happens? Well, you stop letting your friends drink red wine in the living room. You stop letting the dog jump up. You basically stop actually living in your living room. You transform from a relaxed homeowner into an anxious museum curator. You're completely robbed of your freedom because you are way too busy servicing the object. So the crucial point is this. When Diderot had his old robe, he used it for function. He literally wiped his ink-stained pen on it. He was the master. But with the new robe, he became terrified of ruining it. We have to remain masters of our possessions, actually using them for their function, rather than acting as their terrified caretakers. All right, how do we fix this? Section 5, 3 defense strategies. Look, we can't just go live in caves and never buy anything nice again. That's just not realistic. But we absolutely can and must build some mental firewalls to protect our hard-earned cash. So we're going to quickly explore a 3-step defense plan to keep you in control. Strategy 1 is to predict the chain reaction. Before buying an anchor item, you must hit pause and ask what else it's going to demand. Take a PlayStation 5. The console is $500, but is it going to demand a 4K TV so you can actually see the graphics, an extra controller, a monthly subscription? You have to calculate the full system cost. If that system cost is actually $1,500 and you can't afford that, do not buy the anchor item. Do not invite the vampire into your house. Strategy 2, the buy one, give one rule. The Diderot effect absolutely thrives on accumulation. So to stop building shrines to consumerism, you need to cap your inventory. For every new pair of sneakers that comes into your house, an old pair must leave. Donate it, sell it, trash it, whatever. If you buy a new toaster, the old toaster is gone. This forces you to remain a user of your possessions rather than a collector of them. And strategy 3, this is the nuclear option. Practice strategic downgrading. Deliberately downgrade a visible part of your life. Like if you strategically drive a beat-up Toyota truck, absolutely nobody expects you to wear a $2,000 tailored suit. You can wear jeans, you can eat a messy burrito in the front seat. By keeping your status symbols low, you radically lower the required maintenance cost of the rest of your life. And that gives you the ultimate freedom to stack cash while everyone else is going broke curating their personal museums. Consumerism is literally designed to make you feel incomplete. It's meant to make you think you are just one purchase away from happiness. But that one purchase doesn't finish the puzzle. It just scrambles the board and forces you to start all over again. So I want to leave you with this question to really reflect on. What scarlet robe is currently dictating your life? Find it, cut the chain, and whatever you do, don't buy the robe.